Bazinga.
And welcome back, everybody, for the next episode in Iron Curtain Grades Our Shit. Today we're out here with the Whack-A-Mole Tower. So we had the guy who made the request for the no guns base, and apparently, according to the comments section, stare is hard, he wants a no guns base, but not an AFK base. Oh, I see how it is. So you're just going to caveat and make our lives different. No, it's fine. I had already built this. What the idea here is, there are 4 entryways down on the bottom. Each of them is an L-shaped little carve-out like this. In each of the L-shaped carve-outs, there is a ladder. The ladder goes straight up. You'll notice there are multiple runs of electric fencing across each ladder. At the top is a hole with a dart trap. The dart traps are all independently wired and controlled by the switch. If you are standing up here and you have Zeds at the bottom of your ladder, you flip the switch, the dart trap fires non-stop straight down the hole. If any of the zombies actually manage to get up to the top of the hole, you hit them in the face. Bam! Whack-a-mole. If you do it with a power attack on most melee weapons, they will go ass over tea kettle all the way back down to the bottom. They really have a hard time coming back up this thing when there's a huge cluster of them just milling around down here. Now these walls will get a little banged up, and that's why after testing I've upgraded them up to steel here. But I have done some pretty significant volume in testing. As I mentioned in the last video, at one point I had 200 of them, and they all tracked up exactly as I expected them to. The wiring here is pretty straightforward. All of the fences are baked into the walls with easy access repair hatches on the 2 opposing sides, so you can get to all of these fence posts without much difficulty. It's pretty easy. The master generator for these, because of distance, and I didn't want to bake a ton of relays into this, is this one buried in the little offshoot here. So that will control all of the electric fencing. The dart traps are wired up to this joint up here. Again, buried a little bit because I'm anal and like to have it, you know, be secure and protected. So that'll supply all the dart traps. Don't even say it. I hear you over there. I hear you over there.
I'm just saying, you say you're anal, and then you said there are only 4 entrances when there are, in fact, 8.
Well, I'm counting each one of those as an individual entrance. There are 4 entrances with 2 doors apiece, you pedantic bastards. So for supplies needed, this wasn't too bad. It's a little expensive. It's as you can see, it's not small. And when I built it, I tried it at a couple of different heights first, and what I learned in construction and testing was that taller was a little better here, because the longer you make the ladder, the harder you make it to get to the top, the less successful they are at actually getting there. The flip side of that, of course, then is you're adding exponentially onto the cost of construction. As it is, I don't think this is that crazy. But if you guys agree with me, there is no hidden components here. What you see is what you get. This is the exact volume you'd think it is. I think it's like a C-, maybe a little below average in total finance and total supply costs.
I can get behind that. It's not overly extravagant, but it does take some work to get it done.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just a brick, but it's a pretty good size brick.
Exactly. There's no. It wasn't a ton of volume here in concrete and everything, but, you know, obviously not something you're going to whip out of spare change. Build difficulty, I had the idea, I kind of sketched it out, and then just started building up. That was pretty average. There's no huge gimmicks here. You know, running electric fences through bricks isn't a complicated process. There's no real tricks or gimmicks to this. It's all about routing them up 4 individual steel ladders. The only thing you do want to make sure you do is run this bottom up with enough steel. That does add to your price tag, but when you've got 10 Zeds in this little corridor here, all just kind of milling about and fighting for ladder space, they will be punching these walls. They're going to land some damage down here, and in the testing I've done, I've had to do some fairly chunky repairs down here. They hadn't shattered anything out, but they've taken some pretty good bites out of these pieces. So I think build difficulty is definitely about average. Nothing too crazy.
I can find that. Solid C.
Yeah, that's a C. Now, you may notice that there are 4 ladders and 5 of us. Obviously, this base is more of a concept. You could do this with 2 ladders, 1 ladder, 12 ladders. It's sort of a build the suit situation, but we do have an extra person. So what we're going to have is our pink menace here running around doing repair work and ammo delivery for the dart traps. How much of that is actually going to happen remains to be seen, but it's the best we can figure out to do with him, and probably the only way we're going to manage to keep him alive for this night. Let's see if that actually pays off. Horde Night's coming up. Let's see how she does. Now, I'm not stupid. I did bring ammo out with me in case shit goes sideways, but I have high hopes for this base.
Yeah, no, it seems like it would work. My only concern is if they start, like, piling up in the shaft and just force their way up.
That's one of the reasons I did those massive test spawns, and they don't seem to be really good at that. The fact that they have to interact with the ladder in that one block hole kind of prevents some of that. It forces them to go in an orderly single file line.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the electric fence keeps them nice and slow.
Yeah, the electric fence, as often as not, seems, at least when I was testing it, that it would actually sort of make them release a little bit and fall a couple of blocks down and then trundle back up.
Yeah, that's what it always used to do.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
They come from the north
Immediate electric fence.
and the
Is that
east.
mine? That's mine.
Southeast.
The activity here.
Very heavy.
Boo.
So that'll be
So it's
Nev.
just a dart trap firing down, hitting him top of the head, which is beautiful when there's demos because that doesn't trigger them. Oh, speaking of the devil.
Dart traps don't trigger demos anyway.
Nope, that's what I'm saying, but it's just
Oh.
gonna drill him in the top of the dome, and then he gets
Wow,
electrified and
this
falls
is-
back down.
This is incredibly effective already. Holy shit.
Oh, we got some trundling over here on mine that I've been taking the camera elsewhere. And, you know, you don't have to shoot the floor in your hole if there's nothing there.
No, they're coming into mine pretty well.
Oh, mine's a
Oh.
little better so far.
Of course, as soon as I turn it off, 2 demos start walking up.
Yep. That electric fencing ladder combo is, and then clustered into one tiny little box like that. They really lose a lot of their effectiveness in this case.
I wonder what happens if we add a contact grenade to the equation.
I mean, if there's a big cluster down at the bottom of the hole, I'm sure it'll fuck them up. I got a regular grenade, hold on. Douche! Probably don't want to do a ton of that. It's minimal block damage, but they are going to be punching those ladders themselves, too.
I got hit by the darts.
Yeah, you gotta watch that. You can't stick your head out too far.
Uh-oh.
You get drilled in the back of the neck. What's uh-oh?
So they're not really bad, but they're hanging up between 2 doors and swinging a lot. I doubt it would cause any real damage, but when there's like a pile of them, they can't all fit through the one door, so they hang up and
Yeah, they do. They kind of have to mamba their way in there, and that's one of the reasons this is all steel, so that it can take that sort of clusterfuck of everybody has to wait their turn. I wouldn't recommend doing that bottom floor with anything less than reinforced concrete. It is going to take a beating.
damn it.
Ow!
Damn it. That did not work the way I intended.
Ooh, I'm getting a pile.
I'm getting
Sorry.
null errors.
I wonder if it's because Davian lit me on fire. Go mind your own hole!
My hole is boring.
Yeah, but I would rather
Yeah,
not be
it is.
lit in fire on mine.
Fiery hole. I have
Now,
a thing for that.
and that's the thing, is we did this, and I put this together as a non-shooting base, but if you're into a shooting base, let me tell you how effective full automatic fire is when you can just blast it down a 1 block wide hole like that and kill 5 of them. Even
Put
the
some
demos, like
armor piercing rounds on this thing, and
yeah, it's really easy to put rounds in the top of heads, so you can just blast and shit is not a problem. It is really hard for them to get to the top. It takes quite a bit of work on their part. And then they do, and you just brace your faces. Derp. Bye. And if you power attack, they go all the way down.
Alright, I'm getting a never-ending string of nulls. I need to quit out.
Duel, you're in.
You might need to update your game or something there. Whoa! Nobody's watching the hole next to me, and there's a demo here.
What do you think I'm doing?
No, the one where Davian was. The demo just came up and started punching me in the face. No guns.
Whoever's
please.
shooting, don't.
I have a huge pile of them coming up my thing. I'm just sitting here, crouch, beating heads in.
Yeah, my dart trap's got to stay on because I can't get out of this menu.
Now, I will say that I built and tested this before the...
Hey, Akiva, you're getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah, before the recent ladder changes. When I did that testing, the robotic hammer turrets did not affect Zeds on ladders. It wouldn't even target them. That may be different now, it may not be, I don't know, we haven't gone back and tried that again since the ladder changes, but initially, no dice. They wouldn't even activate if the Zed was attached to a ladder of any kind.
God, I so want to pull out my sniper rifle and just be taking out heads right
Oh,
now.
I know, if you actually are shooting for this base,
That's how to do it.
it's insane. They don't have a chance. And at one point when I was doing the checks, I actually spawned 50 demos and had them all coming up the same ladder, the same L shape there. And I pulled out an M60 and held the button down and didn't set off a single demo. I feel like the ladder changes actually helped this base. They handle ladders much more reliably and predictably now than they did before, and that's really working against them here.
Instead of the switch, put the dart trap on a pressure plate you can just walk on.
I did it. The problem there is the first rung of the ladder. You got to get kind of creative with that, and that's possible if you can make that work, especially if you offset them a little bit. Or was the cluster of zombies was doing a lot of damage to the pressure plates when they're all piled up like that?
Oh no, not down there. Like up here that you
up
can
here
just
you can just
stand on yourself.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was gonna say the other issue with putting it down there so that they triggered it was then, of course, that the turrets are shooting their own activation plate.
Right.
That's not as great.
Interesting thing I just discovered, these dart traps will set off grenades.
Really?
Yep, chuck a grenade down there without pulling the pin.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, my hole's boring, and all I have is duel for it. Duel's making my hole boring.
That
Hole
sounds
boring?
like
Hole boring.
typical
Hole.
Friday night for
I
him.
suppose that's better than
Boring.
duel is boring my hole.
Boring hole.
Get away from my hole.
Oh, but your hole is the busiest.
Getting all the sloppy seconds from you from earlier in the night.
Next tape.
You got my hole's
Yep.
leftovers. How's your hole, Nev?
Is that the whole point?
I'm taking a ding away for that one.
Yeah, that's.
I'm taking your darts. You don't get your darts. I'm taking it with me.
Holy moly!
All right, I'm actually doing it this time.
Well, it's 150, and so far nothing has even remotely gotten up to be threatening.
Except for that one demo because I was temporarily disabled by the universe.
Yeah, Duel wasn't paying attention. But that's a fluke. That doesn't count.
That's just duel, not. That's just duel being duel, though.
When
I was
Davian-
told to refill the darts.
When
Nothing
Davian is
else.
disabled, you have to stand guard over his hole.
There's a joke here, but I'm going to leave it behind.
If he
Just
can't,
like Davian's hole.
if he can't protect his hole, you have to.
Get a wingman
What?
for me on this one, Duel.
It's so well used,
You have the
though.
worst wingman ever.
So these dart traps, they're like throwing sausages down a hallway.
Wow, your sausage is very small.
And sharp.
That's
It's-
breakfast run.
It's like a Vienna sausage.
Tiny, smelly, and nobody wants it.
Yep.
Wow.
Alright, it's 2 a.m. and, yeah, Dick, fuck all has happened. I'm gonna go take a look downstairs and see what's up. Oh, there's a whole bunch of dogs chewing on the fucking power door here. That's fun. Dogs probably not drawn to ladders, and when I say a bunch, it's like 10.
Is it really?
Yeah, so maybe you want to stick your head outside and do a little explosives cleanup midway through the night, just to prevent that from happening. Other than that, it's pretty par for the course down here. Nothing crazy.
Davian, pay more attention to your hole.
What?
I saw those that
Oh shit! Grenade out! Back off!
piling up my hole. And they're falling back down my hole.
Your hole is large enough for it to be considered falling, huh? Wow.
Some of them are falling sideways. It's really weird.
That's a well-worn hole. My hole is vacant and ignored.
And full of duels.
Just like prom.
My hole is full of duel.
Also like
just
prom.
Nobody likes my hole.
Do you want to trade holes?
Sure. Your hole
At least
is
you'll get some good
busy
footage.
and popular.
Yeah, they like my hole. Your hole is boring.
I think everything is boring. And we may have just finished killing the Horde Knight. There's a lot of dogs down here. So, and as you can see, I'm sure these are all pretty tore up. These bottom fences. Yeah, this one's at 49. The bottom walls, the steel ones, they're dinged up. This is to be expected. You know, I anticipated that these little L
Maybe some
corridors
stuff getting
would
beat
take
up.
a beating. We could probably actually just turn the fencing off, huh? That would help.
The ones by the doors, I don't know if they weren't made of steel, but they are not made of steel now. By the hatches.
They were punching in at these hatches, trying to get through. And yeah, again, nothing I'm surprised by. The ladders themselves are in pretty good shape. The hull or the paths going up are all in pretty good shape. There's no huge pings out of anything. Nothing was in danger of coming down. The worst they did was turn a steel block into a concrete block.
Oh no.
Yeah, which is why it was a steel block to begin with. Honestly, durability, I'm saying an A. This held up remarkably well. There's very little in the way of damage. There's nothing of consequence done anywhere. Everything that has to be repaired is exactly what we knew would have to be repaired when we went in. These fences are, lower on durability, but that's because they were doing a lot of work. Are the Zeds controlled? Oh God, yes.
Very much yes.
They filed up the ladders in single file. Barely any of them made it to the top, and the ones that did got punched in the face. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and it did it all night long. Which is a lot more than we can say for Duel on any given night.
Heyo.
I mean, he'll do exactly what you tell him to do, but it's only good for like, 2.5, 3 minutes. So Zed Controlle, unless anybody disagrees, that's definitely an A. Are the players in danger? God, no. Was anybody threatened here at all at any point? I think the most damage I took was from sticking my own damn head into the dart traps or when Davian lit me on fire.
Yeah, Davian lit us all on fire a couple times. Other than that.
That is definitely another A. So, resources used. We used about 130 gas over the course of the night. How much ammo did you put into these traps, Duel?
7,700.
So we got 130 gas and 7,700 darts. That's actually a lot less than the lighthouse. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured the total would be higher.
Lighthouse had a lot more traps going, though.
True. Very true. This is only 4 traps, but they were firing basically non-stop. But hey, I'll take the win wherever we can get. How do we feel about that? What is that, like an A-?
A-, yeah.
Sure.
I'd call it a B for the 7,700 darts.
Split the difference, call it a B+.
I can live with a B+.
And a gold star.
B+ and a gold star. Ammo. Again, not applicable. Nobody really used ammo. We did a couple of test shots in there just to demonstrate, but there is no reason to burn any ammo, brass or otherwise, through the duration of this night. If you've got a good melee weapon and these dart traps up and running, you're set. You don't have to bring a firearm at all. For the cheese grade, once again, I don't see anything cheesy here. Does anybody see anything they think might be a little jank?
Baked potato.
Baked potato. Chances to patch, well, they just fixed a lot of the ladder mechanics on the patch. I don't think dart
traps... Which actually made this better.
Yeah, it really did help this out. I don't think the dart traps and the electric fencing are going away anytime soon, so chance to patch I think is pretty much nil. I'm saying that's a 0. So for the scorecard recap, supplies needed was a C-, build difficulty was a C. So this is, on average in terms of expense, nothing too crazy. Durability, control, and danger, all straight A's. I think this performed really well in terms of holding up and protecting the players. Resources were given it a B+ just because it was 7,700 of those darts. So that is going to be some time at the workbench to crank out that many darts. Ammo was, again, not applicable. You don't need to bring a firearm to this. Now, if you do bring a firearm, there's basically no way for you to fuck that up. You just point it down the hole and go. Cheese was a baked potato, and chance to patch was 0. Final grade. I am really happy with the way this performed. I think this held up really well and did a very good job of killing the Horde Knight.
Yeah.
This is a solid A.
Yes, sir.
I think so. I think we got a winner here.
Standardized test, this is like the metric for an A.
Yeah. I think so. I think you're right there.
If you're shooting at all, you're getting amazing experience. If you're not shooting, you're not using any brass. It's using traps really efficiently,
Mhm.
and it's extremely durable.
Coming up on next, we have nothing. I'm gonna kill myself because
Actually, I've got.
I don't want to do that base. So we're just gonna.
I've got a your shit base.
Oh,
We can do.
it's not the frontier because I was gonna say
That
you want to tease frontier.
that's an hour shit.
I was just gonna talk about how I was gonna clean out Zach's laundromat here and call that a base, so we didn't have to do the frontier. But
Too
you
late, I'm already
actually,
pulling it out. Find your own.
Frontier is an our shit base. I have a your shit base that
what's the your shit?
It's called the Chopper.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
The one with the paper thin walls.
Yeah,
And
that
single concrete stack wide footings.
Oh, I already hate it.
Bring a lot of ammo. We're gonna end up in the dirt.
Yeah. You know, parts of that really remind me of a base I made back in 18 and called the Juicer before we ever started recording.
I remember the juicer.
The Juicer was really effective, and it was also probably the most monstrously expensive to maintain thing I've ever built. We ran
so many blades.
We ran one Horde Night in that thing, and I looked at what the repair cost would be, and we're like, oh, never mind, and then just hacked out all the blade traps to reclaim the steel.
It's gonna put us in the dirt. So
okay, well, maybe it won't. Maybe who do you remember off the top of your head who built that one?
no.
Okay, well, so we've got some compelling ways to tease shit. We've got a base that we don't remember who built it, and we're not sure that it's gonna work. Make sure you stay tuned. We're fucking pros at this, I swear to God. We also have at least 4 more episodes of Fresh Meat in the hopper. If you haven't checked out Fresh Meat, I would definitely encourage you to take a look at that. That is just getting progressively funnier. You would think he would be getting better, but so far he seems to be pretty even-keeled. And last episode's adventure with that pig, I think, is pretty telling about where we are in the state of the world in that game. So definitely check out Fresh Meat. As always, we appreciate you watching, and we will catch you next time. Tool, null reference exception, null reference exception, null reference exception.